one of the things I did inform the students about is that certain parts of the world, particularly in Western Europe and also in sort of Western democratic countries, the health and safety guidance is seen as a sort of a beacon of light for a lot of countries to draw up their own guidance. And like you said, you took the health and safety standards with you to another part of the world as a framework for developing standards and governance out there. But as you've worked in a lot of territories, and I know you said you're recently working in Saudi Arabia, so working in emerging markets like India, China, the Middle East, and South Africa, and as you said, the Cricket World Cup in West Indies way back in 2007. How do you see the BRIC nations in particular dealing with the issue of governance and health and safety? Where are they taking their lead from? Or is it the responsibility from people like yourself who are going out there and working, or are those countries drawing up their own sort of guidance for you to go and work in those territories?
Okay, there are two elements to that. The first is that I think many of them have a rough, a fairly unrefined framework of governance and health and safety. But it doesn't necessarily end up being applied. And it's not altogether, in some countries, not altogether useful at all. So one of the benefits, quite honestly, and it was recognised certainly down in the West Indies and in South Africa, that we brought a level that was not seen previously in South Africa, and it gave them something to work on for the future. And I think that we did a great deal in terms of just general common sense health and safety to bring standards up, and to have companies in South Africa, particularly those that were working with us, to expect a certain standard and to see the advantages of it. Because
sorry to interrupt. So would that be the same for the Federation Cup in South America when you worked out there? Did they follow anything specific that you felt was suitable for an international event? Or did you again rely on your knowledge from the HSC and guidance and governance that you thought was far more appropriate? I know it was part of the Olympic Games. Sorry, the FIFA World Cup. Sorry.
Yeah. So for working both in South America and in South Africa, the situation is very, very similar. There's a broad framework of governance and health and safety. But it's not refined to the kind of level that directly affects the people that are doing the work. As a result, I mean, we've considered ourselves to be very, very fortunate on the Confederations Cup and the Football World Cup in South Africa, because nobody died. We had no serious injuries whatsoever, and we felt particularly proud of that fact. But we virtually controlled our own environment.
Yeah.
Given that the stadiums were built, everything that we did, from tactics boards to media centres to the whole works, was all ours. So we could control the way the guys were doing the work and the standards that they were working to. Yeah. Look across the Atlantic at what went on in the run-up to the 2016 Olympics and the 2015 Football World Cup. And there were, unfortunately, a number of fatalities. And they were all based on the fact that finding that balance between realistic rules and the overall cost impact of the work that's being done is a difficult thing to do if your country is already struggling from a development and financial point of view.
Yeah, I didn't want people to think that what you said was a flippant comment about people dying, because I've said that to them in the previous lecture that we had, and I've also showed them some stats to show that it happens quite frequently within the UK. But with these major events, and like you said, the time constraints, that they have and the type of workers that they do bring in, and whether these workers, like you said, do have the correct PPE, they do have the correct training, or there is somebody monitoring health and safety to make sure that they can deliver it, they can deliver a safe environment. And when you look at those major events and you look at fatalities, Chris is absolutely true. They sometimes it's brushed under the carpet and it's not given the sort of a press coverage that it probably should be given. But yeah, it's absolutely correct. Far too many people die at the construction and the build stage of major events, and particularly with events such as the ones that you said, the FIFA World Cup and the Olympic Games, and how they're addressed by those organisations is a separate issue.